I don't even know. January 23rd. Holy freaking moly. We got Friday. Happy Friday. Kind of a late night stream. I mean, I was trying to start this way earlier, but you know, you know how things go. It's just according to sometimes the schedule makes itself. But we've got Rumble over here, which you can't see. You can if you want to, so you can go to the Rumble page. Same name, Dr. Antonio DC, and that is also co-streaming with YouTube. I do realize that discoverability is a lot harder when you do it this way, but I think it's kind of cool. We got a vertical live going right in front, and then you kind of got the pan view out to the side. The only thing is, my camera over there is an older iPhone, so it's a little rough. Keeps focusing and all this jazz, but I will try not to move too much. We'll see how that works. I tend to be a fidgeter, so okay, doke. Let's scroll back up here and answer some questions because I know I had some come in as I was trying to set all that stuff up. But thanks for hanging out. There's 6 or so people in here, one on Rumble, so that's kind of surprising. What is up with this camera? It keeps freaking trying to focus and stuff. For the person in Rumble, can you let me know how this looks? Please. Please. First time setting her up, so let's go all. No live chats yet. I need to know, man. I need to know. Maybe because I'm trying to figure out why. Sorry, we're kind of troubleshooting right now. I don't mean to be, but yeah, if I don't move, it's fine. But if I start moving, it starts trying to freaking focus up. All right, whatever. We'll just continue. Anyways, Trey, what's up, man? What's up? Can I get your thoughts on BPC 157 and TB 500 for healing? Can they be useful? Sure. I just don't know in terms of long-term effects what peptides are doing to people. I like to target the tissues that we're needing to give resources to. So if it's tendon versus ligament versus bone versus muscle, it's going to kind of vary with the approach there and what your body's going to need and call for. But certainly, can you see benefit from something like that? You probably could. I just don't know enough about peptides in particular. So my final answer is, yeah, I don't know. Which I wish I could give you a better answer there. I've been here once, recommended some boswellia for the injury. Yes, got it the next day. Well, I wonder how that boswellia is going. Feel free to give us some more deets down below. Tweety saying hello. He popped in here before. And my friend on Rumble has not let me know what's happened with the camera. Can you see that? Can you see that for the one person watching in there? Can you see? Well, we got one on YouTube now too, and it's probably Rohith. Rohith, let me know, buddy. Trying to do some horizontal lives for you guys, and yeah, live chat's open, so it should be popping up there. Either way, I'm getting too fixated. I need some kava or something, But Tweety, thank you. Tweety likes the mic. Ria, hello, good night. How we doing? I make you laugh. The TikTok's working. I'm definitely the TikTok one. I'm not too worried about. It's the I have an iPhone XR over there. That's just trying its very best. So, you know, what's crazy is like an iPhone 14 is several $100, unless you guys know of a better place to get one. I don't know. I have to turn like autofocus off or something because this thing's spazzing out and I feel like I can't move. Screw it, dude. Freaking screw it. It's just technology. When technology doesn't work, blood starts boiling. So, you know. By the way, I wonder who's in Rumble. I'm dying to know. Please put something in the chat. Why does this keep switching me back to? Sorry for being all over the place here tonight, but this thing's pissing me off like crazy. I almost wonder. I guess I just can't move that much because now it's fine. I have basically a screen right here for the TikTok people. And then I have a screen up here. So yeah, that thing's freaking moving like crazy, dude. I can't even move, dude. What the heck? One more thing. One more thing. Let's just try to do this. Okay. I tried centering it a little bit better. Cool. Cool. Here I am talking to no one. And it starts freaking adjusting and autofocusing again. Whatever, you know. Let's get down to business, hey? Super cold, no school. I know you're in Wisconsin, so I bet that all my basically friends that are in Wisconsin are sending me a bunch of weather screenshots, and it's kind of nuts how freaking cold it is up there. It's honestly pretty cold here too, so I feel you, Miss Tweety. I feel you. But now it doesn't have my hormone banner in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see a little bit. You can see a little bit of that. I don't know. Okay. Kind of almost good. Freaking 8 minutes into this thing. I'm just like rage baiting you guys at this point. I actually have to get one more thing. Okay. Got this. Got this. Now we're ready to go, huh? Wow, I just had both shoulders crack. Okay, I'm serious now. We're getting serious. We're gonna answer you guys' questions. Okay. Let's go back to Tweety was saying, make her laugh. TikTok's working. Marwa. Oh my goodness. Marwa, how we doing? Could you tell us more about an organic acid test? Is it part of the allergy testing? Organic acids are, or organic acid tests, are kind of a roadmap for certain patient cases, usually on spectrum or behavioral issues. I think if you are like alone in this journey and you don't know where to start, that can be a good avenue. But based on what I know so far, I think there's much benefit from doing initial labs that pretty much show you within the blood or urine or even stool what we need to do. And that's in regard to microbiota, in regard to histamine, and all the different pathways that affect each patient, which are heavily dependent on the liver and all these things. I just think blood work is a great place to start because it gives you just a direction of to go in. And from that, you can really go, okay, here are some of the main CRP or CBC or food allergy tests, things like this. Now you can go, okay, this is our first few steps. Let's look at vitamin D. Let's look at sugar. Let's look at the baseline things instead of going too fancy to the max. Because one, that saves you money. Two, it's more practical. And but if I have a patient that reaches out and they're like, I want an oats test, I'm not going to deny them of a test. So they want to see that info. It's their body. I can order it. I'm going to order that thing. You know, just kind of my 2 cents there. Let's scroll back here. Okay, I found where we were at. Mr. Trey, I haven't used it just yet because I wanted to ask how it would be helpful. Because some inflammation is good, but I know lots is bad. That's actually a really good point, Trey. Uh, when you can't combat a chronic immune response, then we have problems. So, if it was an acute injury, obviously there's some benefit from having the immune system create an inflammatory response and to lay down that healing. It's why we mention boswellia, even from the Wellness Way or other brands. It's to correlate that healing process as cleanly as possible. So, whether it be cofactors, constituents that give you the enzymatic activity, the minerals, and the pain reduction, so that your body can take these resources and put them into practice. I mean, that's why. So, it's not going to, a supplement can't shut off normal function. It can't. I wish they could sometimes because it's like, man, there's a lot going with this patient, or like say a sugar marker, something like that. Really the only thing is maybe vitamin D could have that type of an impact, but yeah, I wouldn't proceed with caution if you're thinking like, man, I want this inflammatory process to continue, which in an acute setting, like if you can take a break, because let's think about like somebody sprains their ankle, say they're a basketball player. Most of the time, the parents, the athletic trainer, everybody involved is going to be trying to get that kid or patient back on the field like as quick as possible. Eh, the body's sending you pain signals. It's changing the temperature within that joint. It's sending a bunch of cells to the area to heal, whether it be ligamentous, tendon based tissues, all these different things. So I see your point there, and it's definitely a valid point. Um, It's not something that's going to shut down the acute inflammatory process or inhibit that from healing properly. But really good question. Sorry, holy crap, my throat just got like crazy dry. Great question, Trey. I would wonder. I don't remember what you injured, so if you want, let us know. Maybe we can get a little more specific. YouTube and Rumble, you guys are dead silent. What the heck? There's somebody sitting in each one. Why aren't you guys talking? I'm just trying to peer pressure them into talking. If it's Rohith, let me know, Mr. Rohith. I'm just gonna double check my banners and stuff. Yeah, live chat is on. Viewership, that's on. Banners, all these things are on. But it keeps switching me to the private chats, which is very annoying. Either way, your chats are much more important, right? If you get Sono HSG, are there higher chances of becoming pregnant? I haven't. Is that a marker or is that a diagnostic? Is that like a form of ultrasound or some diagnostic tool that is not blood work? That's kind of the impression I'm getting here. It was what? Negative 47 today in Wisconsin? Holy heck. 52 below. What the? Where do you guys live? Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. I missed some context here. So, oh, fitness coach is saying negative 52 from Canada. So it's not Wisconsin, but Tweety, we get direct reports from you. So, yep, and they still kept the schools open in these days like this. My goodness. I mean, once it's negative 52, it's like, can we all just kind of agree to stop doing all the activities? Dan is right. I just wish I could do the Dutch test. It's just out of my price range. There might be an option to see if they do payment plans, and I can look into that for you. I could definitely look into that for you. Okay, I need to fix something here. This is crazy. The sheer amount of focusing. Camera settings. There are almost no camera settings, so I don't want that. I'm literally in a live stream right now. Give me 1 second, guys. You're taking a peek at my computer and stuff. Because I don't know, this camera keeps trying to focus, and what my hope is that the viewers are not having an autofocus issue every 2 seconds. But you guys don't talk, so I wouldn't know, right? Whoa. We'll just make do. I got a little bit of OCD going, you know. I like a good presentation, so it pisses me off when it's not good. I'll just keep movements to a minimal, but that's really troublesome because I like to move a lot. Um, yeah. Let me see something here. I said I was gonna stop, but now I'm going again. I'm actually going to do one more final check. I know I'm like rage baiting everybody, so I just want to check the camera from this angle. Yeah, it keeps doing that funky, basically a bunch of funky refocusing and autofocusing over and over. Okay, this is driving me nuts. Anyways, yeah, for Tweety, send me the question about the Dutch. Maybe I can look into that, see if we could do a patient pay version of that, and see what we could do. That'd be kind of cool. KD, 2TI Rads. Whoa. What do you suggest? Partial or full removal? I have no idea, Miss Katie. I'll be straight up honest with you. I have no idea. So I know that my son's been getting seizures at school. He had a head injury 2 years ago. Um, Again, I like the neuroinflammatory reducers, your Bacopa, your Ginkgo, your Gotu Cola. Just starting there. He's a little young kiddo, so you're not going to need a ton dosing wise. But yeah, I would be curious as to was he evaluated concussion wise, and there are some pretty good rehab things you can do with retraining the eyes, retraining balance, um, just to coordinate because the eyes are a part of the brain. People kind of forget about that. But yeah, the eyes are a part of the brain, even your sense of smell and taste and all that. So I think that does need to be addressed. But getting inflammation down, getting chronic inflammation down, that is the best way. Chronic immune stressors. So, Miss Glam, very informative. And I don't know if that's sarcastic because I've almost done nothing for 21 minutes at this point. I've basically been readjusting the camera over there the entire time, trying to keep you guys entertained though. So, all right, I'll give a background of what's been going on. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. Yes, the osteitis pubis for about 8 or 9 months, doing lots of shockwave therapy and PT work. Yeah, I mean, the boswellia is great. Um, I do like the bone broth protein in here. Ancient Nutrition has a great brand, and you can get a bigger bottle than you can through us, but you can get it through the long sway. Basically, oh, you can't really see that. I'm thinking you're on this camera. Um, Boswellia, bone broth protein. I guess you could say collagen peptides too, because you have to create fibrotic type of tissue there, or more ligamentous type things. Obviously, isometrics from the PT work, balancing, things like that. You want to avoid excess motion, maybe even a trochanteric belt, actually, for Trey. A trochanteric belt that can just prevent a ton of motion with the pelvis. That's really all it's doing. It goes right around your hip joints, and it's like a belt. It's just wider, and it goes around your hips. So that's definitely worth it. We got somebody saying Jesus in the chat. Let's just rest that here. So that's why I'm a little cautious. I would be too. I mean, it's really painful, and you don't want to get setbacks. So totally valid. How closely do you work with PTs and OTs communication wise? Just my friend directly, Connor Freehill, Dr. Con Freehill. Awesome, awesome dude. I actually went to high school with him, and he went the PT route. I went the chiro route. So we constantly are talking, sending people back and forth. So I think no human is great at everything, right? And finding the people that specialize in these different things is kind of the way to go. Tweety, or no, wait. Yeah, Tweety says, can you look into the payment plans? Yeah, I know Genova does them. Um, I was actually on the phone with them yesterday, kind of getting some more info on that. But yeah, totally. Cool. Addie. Hey, how we doing, Addie? Welcome back. Is it a problem when I run that I'm having pain in the middle and the back of my knee when I come back from a sprain? So, two things that could be taking place here. One is that you had a PCL sprain um, from a knee sprain. So, it could have been maybe they just didn't let you know, but a PCL is kind of the better of the two scenarios, to be quite honest. You have ligaments in your knee. Excuse me. That's gross. I hate burping on stream. All right, you got your kneecaps right here. Behind that kneecap, you have the condyles of the femur, and then what connects that femur to the tibia is the ACL and the PCL. So the PCL goes behind it. So if you sprained that and it was like a hyperextension injury, that is exactly why you're having that pain. um, I'd be curious as to what ligament was sprained. And if it was the PCL, then that makes complete sense. So, and then Joshua, he did give us a suggestion there. Most likely means that the knee hasn't fully recovered yet. I would agree there. Make sure that it's getting lots of rest. Yes, totally. All right. Um, yes, he never had a concussion. Okay, that's good. Addie, I got 2 games tomorrow. Yikes. Back to back, so no rest for like 7 hours. Man, that makes me sad, to be honest. Because it's like you're young, And if there's an acute injury, we got to let that sucker heal because it's not going to be able to come back. And you only get 2 knees. I would. I haven't done a physical exam on you. I haven't looked at the knee. I haven't done Lockman. All these things. I was an athletic trainer before I pursued my graduate degree, so I worked a ton with athletes rehabilitation, um, and basically acute care that formed into a rehabilitation aspect after athletic injuries. So what I didn't know about was the nutritional side of things. Again, with the boswellia, bone broth proteins, um, different forms of collagen too. That bone broth protein is really type 1 and type 3. So if you can get type 2 in there too, now we're really rolling. Um, but feel free to give us more details. Tamar, I haven't seen you in here in a minute, or maybe at all. So hello. We got our friend coming back. Winter storm hitting the East Coast tomorrow night. Hype. Yeah, I guess we'll see. The hype's been real. I just hope we don't get like 2 inches of ice and then that's it. I hope it's like a month or a blizzard. We've actually had a decent amount of snow this year, so I'm kind of hype as well. I see we switched up the background. Yeah, switch up the background a little bit. If the better background is actually on YouTube and Rumble. The only thing with this Rumble, do you guys, anybody know about technology in here? I'm just curious because the phone that I'm using for the Rumble stream, it keeps auto focusing and I'm like moving like a robot now because every time I move, it readjusts and it's gross. Um, Anybody know about technology here? Is there like an autofocus that I could turn off within the camera settings? I'm gonna. Okay, so Tamar is where I left off. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. Um, Anybody know about technology? Oh my goodness, Tweety. That would be awesome. Tweety, let me know. My husband does. We got a technology guru there. All right, cool. We're all caught up there. What kind of doc are you? I'm a chiropractor, so all holistic point of view here. And no medications, no surgeries, obviously. My degree does not permit that. Um, but yeah, basically a holistic point of view. Wellness way practitioner. I actually opened my own office here, and we are working on getting the X-ray room finished up. But aside from that, seeing all people remotely, it doesn't matter if you're remote. So, but for the actual physical stress portion where we're taking X-rays, doing things physically, that is definitely one not allowed by the town because I have to install sinks and all this stuff. So to be continued with that. In regards to all the lab testing and all those things, let me check. Yep. So we just crossed 1,000 followers here, which will allow me to post the online store that I've been building out. Um, as soon as I can, I'm going to get the self blood draw labs up there. So essentially a shoulder patch that you press a button with and then it draws the blood. Just because there's no state limitations on those because of there's no blood draw needed. So you save money on that. Worst case, we run two of those panels. That's literally the worst case scenario, um, just to get a broader spectrum of things. But it's between 100 to 200 bucks, and you get many different types of panels there, from hormonal assessments, cholesterol things, all that stuff. So, um, yes. Okay, let's go back to where we were because TikTok likes scrolling me down here. Athena, I'm on the toilet and I'm fighting a battle. Any recommendations? Magnesium citrate. Tamar, help. How to trigger finger. Now I'm on my fourth trigger finger. So that is not fun at all. Unfortunately, with this one, it is surgical for resolutions there. I wonder if you've had that surgery already. Um, and are you looking for more of recommendations as to what to do for pain from a natural point of view? Because if not, if it's directly a question about reducing the tendinous injury there, man, it's probably a surgical thing that needs to happen. So yeah, what I have a hard time believing is how nobody has sent a single chat in either Rumble or YouTube. I'm looking at you. I need confirmation. Can you guys hear me? Let's start there. Can you guys hear me? I see my square lighting up. TikTok's been growing on me after experiencing YouTube and Rumble. All right, where were we? Tamar, let us know more details there. Thank you for your help, brother. Trey, my pleasure to you. Girl from Ohio, hello. How can I manage insomnia? I've been turning off my phone an hour before bed, but it hasn't helped. Okay, I've seen people struggle with that because you have to reprogram the circadian rhythm here. So I would make sure you're getting a very clean form of melatonin, and I would be getting a form of alcidonia actually too, so that you can get GABA, passion flower, L-theanine, and the most calming B vitamins in the system, so that now we can program that system to go to bed at the right times. So melatonin and alcidonia. That's the wellness ways names of those things. So But yeah, I mean, ideally you get a circadian rhythm test done through a Dutch test, and we start looking at stuff that way. So, but yeah, CC, what the? That is inappropriate question, CC. Oh my goodness. Do you guys see this? Putting doctor and then DC is repetitive and incorrect. Pick one. So a doctor of medicine shouldn't put doctor before their name. Just a question there. But yeah, that's how you address it. So we can disagree though. I've been on wellness weight protocol. We don't do protocols, but I know what you mean. You've been on a individualized approach for acne. It's improved and faded, not completely clear yet. Okay, that's going to depend on what was ran and how much you've done so far, how long this has gone on for, in terms of the healing process. Sophia, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Yasin, I got a panic attack 4 months ago. Now I have a lot of symptoms. Ouch. Um, L-theanine and California poppy can start to mitigate some of that feeling there. I would even say Alcidonia too at that point. Actually, no, Alcidonia and California poppy because there's L-theanine in Alcidonia and probably some kava to pair with that. So California poppy, kava, Alcidonia, and you probably need a Dutch test. Excuse me, freaking burping like crazy, dude. What's going on? Um, okay, panic attack. Tweety says I'll ask him. So what did you need again? What kind of phone? I need to figure out why this camera keeps auto focusing. Um, like if I move, I know this looks like weird for you guys, but there's another camera over there that's getting like the whole room. And every time I make a single movement, it like has to refocus and it pisses me off a lot. Um, so it's basically been distracting me this entire time from answering you guys' questions. So Tweety, the pressure's on. First of all, we need your husband here. And ask him if there's some type of thing in settings that I could change with auto focusing on the camera. That'd be awesome. Thank you much. To be continued. Emma, my Wellness with Doc gave me a third panel to get the blood drawn. Can I ship it on a Saturday tomorrow? Um, when was your blood drawn? Taking that blood drawn. Can I ship it on a Saturday? Yeah. It's going to be prioritized, so it's going to have stat written on there. Ooh, Carolina. Thank you. Look, she responded. Somebody from YouTube responded. Look how happy I am. Maybe because of the phone in front? Okay, so you're saying the focal point is not on me. Frustration grows. So we're gonna try. Oh, I gotta pee now too, dude. What the frick? I'm just like rage baiting all you people. All right, we're gonna go with me, Carolina. Carolina. We're gonna see if she's right. Ready? Uh, uh. Okay. That's not completely out. Let me try and move a little bit. Let me throw my hands up. Dude, it's still doing it. It's still doing it. But I still have the phone within view. So I'm going to try and adjust it from here. Let's just keep bringing you closer. I don't know. I don't know. It keeps doing that, man. What the freak? Maybe when we find a good rhythm, it will stop. Maybe because of the phone in front. I don't know, man. We try to do that. Okay. We're going to just hit a pause on this whole thing. Okay. We're going to hit pause. I'm going to go into the settings here and change those settings and see what we can do. Okay. Okay. End the stream.